model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Ral, and I'm working on my Pantera here, and I realized I hadn't updated you guys or showed you what I went and what color I went with. So obviously you can see I went green on this one, and orange was a popular comment. I had a few people. Reason I didn't do orange is I did the GT5 in orange, and this is supposed to be a GTS. Although that one is a little bit more accurate than this one. So I was doing some reading and research, and Panteras are kind of hard to research because they're not really bespoke, but they were, and there was a lot of changes. So just a lot of stuff to research, and like this is kind of a one-off body that Testors used, and no real cars actually had stuff like this. And in reading, I was finding out that GT5s had the fiberglass fender flares that were riveted on. So that's what the GT5s were originally, the wide body ones. GTS was not wide body for the most part, the earlier cars. And then they had a GT5-S, which is the more common one because it came after. The first GT5s had the fiberglass fender flares and stuck out, but they really weren't shaped like this. And then the GT5S's had steel fender flares, and you didn't have exposed rivets, and they were usually shaped where these are just completely, almost flat, not much of a shape to them as far as when they bulge out. I always thought this looked cool in this wing, but didn't really have a wing like this on most of the cars. But as you can see, I painted it green. I got the decals on I used. I went with the pinstripe down the side and pinstripe on the side of the spoiler here, and a little bit on the front here. I'm not quite done blacking out. I still got the bumperettes to black out, turn signals to foil, marker lights to foil. So I got my foil out, and the back one's to foil and the door handles. I still got to paint the taillights. You can see I put the decal, one of the decals on the very back of the spoiler, but I didn't put all the decals on. There's just way too many pinstripes, and didn't really like it like that. But so I just didn't want it completely plain, so I dolled it up a little bit with the the black Pantera decals. And well, these decals, if you followed my last update, I had these actually made Firebird Designs, the decals that were gold, and transfer them into black for me. And I also have a set in white. Got my bare metal foil out here, so I'll do a couple of things here while I'm going here. But just totally enjoying this build, and it's a quick build. There's not a whole lot to do to this one, but I just use a big piece of foil, and based on some of the markings on this car, it's a much later car. These turn signals are more of an 80s, the way they're made and shaped. So I'm just gonna get some of those on here, just getting some foil done. And I'm getting some of the blackout done. I've done the blackout all around the windows and both sides. And the whole inside is blacked out, the headliner and all the stuff on the inside. And you can see where the crack was right here, where it went all the way. And I filled it there. I did the bodywork on the front side and the top side, and it came out pretty nice. There's a small section where I just couldn't get in there. I didn't want to ruin the hood hole down there. So I was half tempted to sand them off too, but I left them on there. But then I've still got a little bit more to do. But like I mentioned, the black here and then the black rear bumper pieces. I got the taillights to paint too, so those are going to need some work. But I still got other models to paint the taillights, so when I get them ready, I'll have the airbrush loaded and I will spray those. But kind of a fun kit, and looking forward to doing the Fujimi ones as well. But this one, it's a quick build really. The tires, or the wheels, not the tires, kind of got me frustrated. If you've seen this kit, they're molded in black, and I mean there's nothing to them. And the first one I did, I remember just brush painting the silver or the gold, and they came out pretty good. So I tried painting the gold with my brush here, and not really liking how this is coming out. It's a little too dull, little chunky, so I got to thin the paint out. I think I'm going to strip this, and I think I'm going to paint them completely airbrush. So I'll have black in there, and then I'll have to fill in the spokes, the deep recessions, paint all those black in there as well. So I've got some thoughts there, and I got to do the rears as well. The rears are just mocked up in place because I was checking out the fit and finish. The rest of the chassis, I actually left it molded in the black since it's that simple. But I did a lot of detail painting of the silver, so the dash and the console, which is kind of funny because this one, the console is more of the early console, but it's got the later dash with the single pod with the 2 gauges in it. Some of the earlier Panteras actually have 2 pods and they're spread out a little bit farther. So it's kind of the accuracy of this model is really out the window. But because of that, and it's just a motorized kit, I'm just building it for fun and just enjoying it. But that's what we built for anyway, right? So I'll get this piece of foil on there. And I'll trim them and get them detail painted. Got a bubble in there. Yeah, cut that and trim it out. And I still got to go around the windshield too, and then I'll get the glass glued in. Get the front turn signals in there too. These are actually, I thought the whole thing was chrome, but on the later ones, the whole tunnel is body color, and just the lens part is orange. So I'll put some foil on there, leave the rest of it green. But and then I got to paint the emblems also. But the next step is really just what I'm going to do with these wheels. Still haven't decided if it's going to be silver or gold. As it is, I got to paint some gold on another set of wheels also. So I'll get you caught up on that. And let's trim this foil here. Don't usually have the body so far away. Usually it's up in my face, but since I got the camera on, let you guys see what I do and how I do it. Let's clean that up. And this one's more of a quick build. I'm not trying to make a contest winner or anything like that. I mostly build for me, and although I'm enjoying showing these to you and as I build them and my build-ups of the week. So I gotta pick another one of those out for you guys and go over it and see what I choose this week. But I'm enjoying it. Although I'm not stuck at home yet with the coronavirus, apparently my job is essential, so my day job. So they're keeping me busy, although somebody's got to sell those air filters and oil filters and give the technicians their parts. That's what I do for a day job. Big time car nut myself. I wanted to watch my dad grow up as a technician, and I just kind of knew that I wanted to be around cars in some way or form. But I didn't want to work on them on a daily basis on customers' cars. So I ended up in the parts department, and that suits me just fine. Oh, that one went flying. Well, that one didn't stick, so time to just put another piece on. Let's clean it off, and time to do another one. Yeah, I was just sitting here working on this thing and realized I haven't caught you guys up on it or showed anybody what color I picked and what I did with it. This one's really trapped a bubble, which I think is why it lifted off when I started to pull. Because it's stuck on the outside, but it's got a bubble on the inside. But once I get the extra off, there we go. And it's much easier to push it down and get the bubble out of there when it does that. Yep, that bubble came right out that time. So, just simple little details here. But I'll get these painted. So the next time you see this one, it should be pretty much done. Well, it's pretty much done now, other than the wheels, but she's coming along. I think maybe I'll turn the camera off and keep building here and keep you guys in suspense and work on another one. But I'll always playing, always working, trying to decide what's next after I get these projects done. So I'll stop right here for the moment. But thank you for tuning in and subscribing, and hit that bell button so you can see all my latest uploads. And I appreciate all your comments and everything, and I'll keep building on this one, and got my AAR CUDA going, and I need to update you on the 73 Trans Am project too, because that thing's painted and cleared and decaled as well. I haven't foiled it, but I got to update you guys on that one. So that you can look forward to for next week. But thank you for subscribing. Thank you for tuning in. And you guys, you have a wonderful day.